Chapter 34 Greatness of Udi continued. Doctor's nephew. In Malegaon, a practicing doctor's nephew was suffering from an incurable disease, that is, tubercular bone abscess. The doctor and other medical practitioners tried all sorts of medication but were unable to cure him. On the advice of friends and relatives, the boy's parents carried him to Shirdi to seek Baba's help. They prostrated before Baba and placed the boy before him and humbly pleaded for the well-being of their son. Baba moved his hands on the affected part, applied Udi and comforted the patient lovingly, saying, "This is not a mere masjid. This is Dwaravati. He who takes refuge here will never suffer again." As assured by Baba, the boy recovered within a week by merely applying Udi. The parents left Shirdi with their son, profusely thanking Baba for curing him through Udi and his blessings. On learning about his nephew's recovery, the doctor desired to see Baba. At that very time, he was treating another patient suffering from an infectious fever, which showed no signs of immediate recovery. So, he proposed a test in his mind that if his patient got well that day, he would leave for Shirdi that very next day. No sooner had he thought so, the patient's fever began to abate and the temperature before long became normal. As per his vow, he immediately went to Shirdi, had Baba's darshan, received Udi and his blessings. Having witnessed several such miracles, he became an ardent devotee of Baba thereafter. Within a fortnight of his visit to Shirdi, he was transferred to Bijapur on promotion. Dr. Pillai. Dr. Pillai, an intimate devotee of Baba, whom Baba called Bhau, brother, once suffered badly from guinea worms. Unable to bear the excruciating pain, he preferred to die and therefore asked Dikshit to pray to Baba on his behalf, requesting him to put an end to the pain or transfer the suffering of the past karma to 10 future births. When Dikshit conveyed these feelings to Baba, he was moved and said, "Tell Pillai to be fearless. Why should he suffer for 10 births? I shall relieve him of his suffering in 10 days. Bring him here to the masjid on somebody's back, and we shall work and finish his sufferings." When the doctor was brought to the masjid, Baba gave him a bolster and asked him to relax. He ordered the bandage to be taken off and said, "Now a crow will come and peck you, and then you will recover." While this conversation was going on, Abdul, who was cleaning the masjid and trimming the lamps, accidentally stepped on the stretched leg of Dr. Pillai and pressed it hard. The wound burst immediately and 7 guinea worms were squeezed out at once. Dr. Pillai bawled and screamed at the unbearable pain. He calmed down subsequently and asked Baba when the crow would come and peck. Baba replied jovially that Abdul himself was the crow. Thereafter, through regular external application of Udi and internally consuming it with water, Dr. Pillai was cured of the disease totally in 10 days without any other medication. Shyama's sister-in-law. Shyama's brother, Bapaji's wife, was attacked by bubonic plague and was suffering from high temperature. A frightened Shyama rushed to the masjid to seek Baba's blessings and permission to go to Saul to see his sister-in-law. Baba advised him not to travel that night, but go there the next morning and return immediately. As advised, Shama sent Udi to her through Babaji, and when he went to see her the next day, he was surprised to find her completely cured and seated at the fireplace preparing tea for all. On questioning his brother, he learned that as soon as Babaji had applied Udi on her pubis and gave his wife a drink of Udi mixed in water, she became perfectly fit. Shama returned to Shirdi, saluted to Baba, and asked him why he was testing his devotees thus, by first creating a storm, making them restless, and then solving the problems. To this Baba replied thus, all that happens around us is on account of destiny and no one can avoid it. However, he who casts aside his ego and trusts me entirely will have all shackles removed and will be liberated by the grace of God. Irani's daughter. An Irani gentleman's daughter was suffering from epileptic convulsions every hour. During this time, she used to fall down senseless, having lost control of her limbs, speech, etc. On a friend's recommendation, the Irani brought Udi from Kaka Sahib Dikshit at Villa Parle in Bombay, mixed it with water, and gave it to his daughter for drinking. After administering this, the fits came every 7 hours, gradually reducing in frequency, and within a few days, the girl recovered completely. Harda gentleman. An old gentleman from Harda was suffering from stones in his kidney and was recommended surgical treatment for it. As he was old and weak, he did not want to undergo surgery. Acting on the recommendations of his friends, his son got some Udi from the Inamdar, city officer, an ardent devotee of Baba, and gave him a drink of Udi mixed with water. Within a matter of 5 minutes, the stone dissolved and came out through his urine, relieving the old man of his pain and suffering. Bombay lady. A lady from Bombay was always suffering from unbearable labor pains during delivery. Sri Ram Murthy, a devotee of Baba, advised her husband to take her to Shirdi for a painless delivery when she became pregnant next time. Following his advice, the couple went to Shirdi and stayed there for some time worshipping Baba. As the time of delivery drew near, the lady started suffering labor pains due to an obstruction in the passage as usual. As soon as her neighbors administered the Udi mixture as a drink, she delivered painlessly and remained ever grateful to Sai Baba. Om Namo Sai Nathaya. Shanti Shanti Shanti. End of chapter 34.